Happy Friday, everybody. It's Chamber Check-In time. And today I have Mr. Todd Cooper. He's President, CEO, Idaho First Bank. Hi, Todd.
Happy Friday, Paul. It's good to be with you. I appreciate you taking the time.
Right back at you, sir. I'm so happy to be able to spend a little time and share the Idaho First Bank story with listeners. But first, I get to thank our series sponsor for these check-ins. Todd, it's Delta Dental of Idaho. And as you know, Delta Dental of Idaho has been providing best-in-class quality dental benefits to Idahoans for over 50 years. Their benefit packages are designed and backed by the largest network of dentists in the country. And with that, I get to share a fun factoid from their Tooth Truth series. Here we go.
At Delta Dental of Idaho, we have three characteristics: simple, helpful, and trusted. We're simple because we understand the benefits and help you understand the benefits. We're helpful by providing the information that you need to get out to your employees. We're trusted because we've been around for over 50 years and will continue to be here.
Thank you, Delta Dental. And hello, Mr. Cooper. How's it going over there?
Paul, it's great. I want to thank Delta Dental, too. They're a great partner with Idaho First Bank, so we appreciate their sponsorship.
That's awesome. Idaho First Bank has been around for a little bit, and we'll get to that origin story. But I'm really excited to share a little bit about your personal history of work, Todd. So why don't you get us started? How did you land in the financial industry? How long have you been in the industry? And why have you stayed for so many years?
Well, those are all great questions, Paul. I appreciate it. I started actually in banking in 1989. Back before cell phones, before the internet. Al Gore was still dreaming up the internet, and I was a graduate of Idaho State. Go Bengals! And honestly, a family friend of ours was in the banking business, who at that time was a First Security Bank. So I went to work for the bank in the training program. They had a management training program. Was fortunate working for First Security. I got to bank farmers in eastern Idaho. I spent 10 or 15 years banking car dealers across the Northwest. Wells Fargo ultimately acquired First Security Bank. And from banking car dealers, I moved to downtown Boise and worked in the commercial banking area for Wells Fargo, working in Idaho and eastern Washington, a little bit in northern Wyoming. I left Wells Fargo a year and a half ago, spent a little bit of, 2.5 years ago, I spent a little bit of time at Boise State as the Director of Economic Development. That was really fun. When somebody I know in the industry gave me a call and said, we should go to lunch and talk about Idaho First Bank. And, I think it's a great story. The bank is a great story, a great Treasure Valley County kind of story. Kind of a gritty entrepreneur startup that was really, I thought, uniquely positioned for the future and to take advantage of the growth that is coming in our area. And so I joined Idaho First in January of 2020, about 45 days before the pandemic and PPP hit. It's been quite a ride ever since. And why have I stayed in the financial industry? I think, Paul, it's underrated. I think the industry is underrated. I've been able to do so many different things. And although I've been lucky enough to live in Idaho and the Treasure Valley since the mid-90s, I've been able to work around the country and work with different business owners, different industries. It's really been exciting for me. Somebody's been in banking for 30 or 35 years, you think, boy, that person must be pretty boring. But it's really been exciting, right? There was a time my boss was in Philadelphia and I had team members in Hawaii. So I got to do a ton of different things, meet, just dozens and dozens of high quality people. And, the industry seems stodgy, but really it's on the cutting edge of technology, right? You think about the things you can do with your phone today and online. It's really a technology industry today. And, it's personal. We get to help people each and every day. And it's really, really gratifying, satisfying.
That makes a lot of sense. When you stick with an outfit for a meaningful amount of time, you can build on those relationships. And I can imagine how impactful those relationships are in the financial industry over time.
Yeah, it's true. I've banked, I've banked farm customers in eastern Idaho in the early '90s, and honestly, I still talk to them today.
That's awesome.
And it's just the impact you can have with your customers and your coworkers. Like I said, it's really gratifying.
Okay, cool. Well, now's the time to kind of share the Idaho First Bank story. So you're talking about Valley County as maybe the launching pad. So take us through when did it start and how did it start?
Yeah, that's a great question. I appreciate the chance to share this. My predecessor, the previous CEO, and a group of investors decided they wanted to start a bank in McCall, Idaho. And it was 2005. They went through the paperwork. I've seen the application, and it's a book about this thick. It's not easy to start a bank, apparently, and I don't have the patience to do it. But this group of people did, and so they launched a bank in McCall, Idaho, in 2005. And the bank took off and was having great success. And I don't know how much you remember about '06, '07, and '08.
Yep.
But that was not a great time for banks in general, especially banks working in a resort market that had had a huge run up in property values, vacation properties, all of that stuff. Fortunately, the bank didn't get that involved with the resort that was a little bit south of McCall. But there were some tough times for the bank, quite honestly. The bank wasn't very big. Its primary market was McCall. McCall was struggling. And so the bank went through some tough times. And again, that gritty entrepreneur kind of survival instinct kicked in. And my predecessor, he was able during that time to go find more investors who recapitalized the bank in 2010 and then launch it on a trajectory that continues on today. So it took a little bit of time to dig out of that 2008 and 9 time frame. And so that gets us to today, where we have 6 branches in Idaho. We have a loan production office in Bend, Oregon. And we have a team of about 90 just high quality people who each and every day, I believe, are getting out of bed to, with this focus of how do I help somebody today. And we've seen great growth. The market has really responded to what we do, and we're in the right markets at the right time with the right people. And as interesting as the story's been from 2005 to 2021, I think the best part of the story is ahead of us, honestly. So
yep.
It's really exciting.
Well, Todd, you mentioned people and community a few times in both of the origin stories, one with you and one with IFB. And actually, it's the first 2 words on the homepage of your website. So tell me about people first, community first a little bit, Todd.
Yeah, I think, community, I'll start with community first, Paul. And, we're a community bank. And as such, we live, work, breathe, and our neighbors with the people around us, and the investors in our bank are from our local communities. And, as a small organization, we're nimble and responsive and really focused on and encourage our team members to be part of their communities.
Right.
The bank does well when our community is healthy. And the community gets healthy by the bank investing our time and our talents and our money, to help our communities find success. And it's a core belief we have. We match employee contributions to local nonprofits. We take a day like many banks do and donate our time. And really we want to be part of the fabric of the community. I believe strongly that our communities are better with Idaho First Bank in them. And I think that's a key component for every member of our team. And the people first side of it, Paul, is really how we operate each and every day, right? We put people first, whether it's our employees, our customers, our neighbors, our vendors, our partners at the chamber. I believe every single employee puts people first. And when you start with that, some of the questions you come across in the day, some of the decisions you have to make during the day get much simpler, I think. With the focus on people first, it's really a driving principle, not just for me, but for the entire team and the organization. And we're proud of both of those.
That's terrific. We were on a food and ag industry advisory board call the other day, and Steve Cherry, the plant manager out at CS Beef, was talking about labor shortages and supply chain issues. And he said, what we've done the best at, though, is we're in the people business that happens to procure beef and sell beef. And I was like, that's so refreshing, right? And it seems like that is the mantra going forward. It is all about people first and community first. With that, Todd,
I agree with him 100%. Sorry to interrupt, Paul. I agree with him 100%. And banking is a people business, right? We can bank on our phone, we can stop at an ATM, but at the end of the day, people want to bank with people, and it's important. It's a key part of what we do.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned having or matching your team's time and dollars spent in the nonprofit community. And when I was looking at your kind of background a little bit, Todd, before our time today, I calculated the number of years that you've served on a couple of just two boards, one being the Boys and Girls Club of Ada County, and then the other is the Boise Valley Economic Partnership Board. And if my math serves me correctly, over 22 years serving on both of those boards equally.
Well, I think Paul, that means I'm old, is what that means. But I'll always appreciate the chance to talk about the Boys and Girls Clubs of Ada County. And I have been on the board there for the last 12 years. And it's an organization that just impacts kids in such a positive way, right? They learn about character, and they learn about nutrition, and they come to the club after school and they do their homework first. And, for some of the kids we serve, honestly, the meal they get at the club is sometimes the only meal they get. And, the clubs, we have 6 sites now, I think, across the Treasure Valley. It costs less than $50 a year for most of the club kids to attend, and we get zero money from Boys and Girls Club nationally. So the budget for Boys and Girls Clubs of Ada County is money raised from our local communities. And, the fact that the community steps up and helps the clubs and provides that great experience is just heartwarming. And one of the things we're most proud of is during the pandemic, when the schools closed, we chose to keep the clubs open. And we spaced kids out. Some days we limited attendance, and we had zero COVID.
Wow.
Zero COVID impact in the clubs from kid to kid. But there were a couple of times, literally, I'm at the front desk of the club, and there's a mom or a dad in scrubs and a stethoscope checking their kids into the club for the first time ever, saying, if you weren't open, I wouldn't be going to work today. And so the club, I think, especially during the pandemic, served those in need at their greatest time of need. I'm just really proud of that. And the Boise Valley Economic Partnership, I've been there when we recruited Clark Krause to come, for heaven's sake. That's how long I've been around that thing. And that's again, a talented group of people working to grow our market the right way, with the right employers, giving our local citizens better opportunities, and really expanding the local economy. And with great success, under the leadership of Clark and the team. That's just been, really fulfilling part of the volunteer work I've been part of. And I knew if you asked me about the Boys and Girls Club that we'd be going for an hour and a half, so I'll just stop there.
I love it. Isn't it fun to learn about different passions from different people? And thanks for sticking with that outfit, because yeah, we at the Chamber love the Boys and Girls Club of Ada County and what they do. Their work is certainly essential, especially right here in our own backyard. And I love the partnership that they've done with the school right next to them there in Garden City. That just makes perfect sense to me. Anyway,
that's a great partnership. You're right. Future Public Schools,
yep.
The Albertsons Foundation, and the city of Garden City all got together and provided a great solution. And again, I could go on and on about the club. So.
Yep. Hey, so I've got your website scrolling on the screen. If any listeners are looking at learning more about the products and services offered by Idaho First Bank, right? They have branches for personal banking, business banking. They lend home loans, and we're a huge part of the PPP loans. Maybe just real quick, Todd, how did that impact your team? How did you guys fare through all that?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Paul. I think community banks overall really responded to the PPP need in our local communities. And I will forever be proud of the effort the team at Idaho First Bank put together. We're not a big institution, but we did an outsized job when it comes to PPP, right? We provided 500 PPP loans to Idaho business owners who didn't bank with us, who were struggling to get the money from other places. And the thing that I think is most important to remember about that is those business owners then took that money and kept their payroll going so that their employees could continue to make their house payment, continue to buy groceries for the family, continue to make the car payment. The money, I've talked to dozens and dozens of PPP recipients. The money was truly used, in my opinion, 99% of the time for the purposes intended. And so, I think our bank and community banks overall, with their ability to quickly respond, really had an impact on the local economy. And like I said, I will forever be proud. That was a big lift and a lot of work on the part of our team. Seems like forever ago now. It's over a year ago. But I would tell you that community banks overall, Idaho First in particular, because I was part of the effort inside, I'll forever be proud of the work we did to help local business owners.
I always think about banker's hours, right? When I was working in the grocery business, working 60 hours a week from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I love banker hours, working 9 to 5. Boy, that all changed, didn't it?
Yeah, we funded PPP loans 24 hours a day for 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, we went pretty fast.
I can't even imagine the workload and the calls and reacting and responding as quickly as our local community banks did, is of course Idaho First Bank. So thanks for sharing that with us. Hey, in closing, is there anything else that you'd like to educate the listeners on about your team, or are you hiring, something like that, while we have a few more minutes?
Well, we're a rapidly growing organization, Paul, so we're always looking for talent, especially in today's environment, right, where it's the great resignation or the great retirement or whatever it is, right? Unemployment rates are historic lows in the markets we operate in. And so, yeah, we're always looking for talent. And, again, I would just go back to, I think the Idaho First Bank story is as compelling or more compelling from 2021 forward as it has been to this point. So we'll continue to look for opportunities to serve more communities, to grow our team, to grow our base of customers in those core business lines that are really important to community banks, right? You mentioned home mortgage lending, helping small businesses and small business owners, and those businesses, employees. there's a lot of opportunity, and there's a lot of new people moving into our markets, and we can't wait to meet them and help them and continue to grow and impact the local economy. So that's an exciting time.
Well, thank you again, Todd, for your time to share the story on this platform. We really appreciate your continued investment with the Chamber, with the Boise Valley Economic Partnership, and just in the overall community. So thank you again, Todd.
Paul, I appreciate it. Again, thank you. We value our Chamber membership. We think it's important, and we appreciate the Chamber's advocacy on the part of business. Obviously, BVIP and the Boise Valley Economic Partnerships had a huge impact in our local community, and we're thrilled to be part of that. And hats off to you and the great work you and the Chamber are doing, especially through COVID when you guys went virtual and kept the drumbeat going. So my hat's off to the Chamber and the Chamber staff. Thanks for having me today, Paul.
Thanks, Todd. Have a Merry Christmas.
You bet.
Have fun with your team, and congratulations on your new appointment as President and CEO of Idaho First Bank, Todd. Congratulations.
Thanks, Paul. Happy holidays.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.